Directing traffic, gonna go deep, has a man deep, it is caught for the touchdown!
Zach escapes pressure, Zach tucks it and runs. Zach Wilson's loose, Zach Wilson's running, he's got all day, he stays in bounds, Zach Wilson caught it, Zach Wilson gets in the end zone for the touchdown! Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to another Jets Media live stream. 24 hours from this moment is when the NFL Draft officially kicks off. Are we hyped up or not? The New York Jets got 2 top 10 picks for tomorrow night to work with. In this stream, we're going to be talking about all the draft buzz surrounding the New York Jets, all the draft rumors regarding the New York Jets, and of course, we'll be keeping an eye on Deebo Samuel to see if he will be moved from the San Francisco 49ers, and will he be moved to the New York Jets? That's what we'll be talking about in tonight's stream. It's going to be a fun time. If you guys are just tuning in for the first time, make sure you smash that thumbs up button on your way into the show so we can get as many Jets fans and NFL fans in here to talk some Jets and NFL football, because that's what it's all about. It's all about you guys in the chat and all of us having a fantastic conversation. So please make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button for your boy. I greatly appreciate all the support on Jets Media. And of course, if you're not subscribed already, don't forget to do so we can get to our next goal, which is 11K. Pretty crazy stuff. So guys, this morning we had DJ Bienemy on the channel, and he had a lot of interesting things to say about all the rumors regarding the New York Jets for the NFL draft that's coming up tomorrow night. According to DJ, Joe Douglas absolutely loves Ikem Ekwonu, and if Ekwonu's on the board when the Jets are on the clock at 4, he would not be shocked if he's the pick. There's other reports saying that the New York Jets prefer Jermaine Johnson over Kayvon Thibodeau, which is pretty crazy. Rich Cimini had something to say, saying that if Ekwonu's off the board, then it might be Sauce Gardner who's the pick at number 4. And now all of a sudden, the latest thing to come out is that Aiden Hutchinson could potentially fall to the New York Jets at number 4. What is happening? Tomorrow is going to be absolutely insane because I, frankly, have no idea what to expect from the New York Jets. So my advice, guys, is expect the unexpected, right? Because when it comes to the New York Jets pick at number 4, I have no idea who it's going to be. I thought it was going to be Kayvon Thibodeau, but not going to lie, I'm buying into the smoke. I could be completely wrong, right? But I had this feeling about Kayvon Thibodeau months ago that if the New York Jets do their extensive homework on him and they feel that there's any concern with him off the field, then they will pass on him for a guy that they feel like will fit the culture better. Now, I'm not saying that's the right or wrong move, but I feel like this was coming. And now we're here, and all reporters, Connor Hughes, all the Jets beat, even Peter Schrager from NFL Network said that the wind is blowing in opposite direction of the Jets going Kayvon Thibodeau. Pretty crazy stuff there. So I'm very happy that the NFL draft is finally here, because all the speculation, all the mock drafts, all the what ifs will finally be out the door. We can start talking about what the Jets did and what they did right and what they did wrong, and the steals of the draft and some reaches of the draft. It's going to be a lot of fun on this channel. I just scheduled all the NFL draft live streams on the channel. We'll be live tomorrow night during round number 1. We'll be live Friday night during rounds number 2 and 3. And we will be live all day Saturday for rounds 4 through 7. So guys, make sure you guys stay tuned for my live reaction to each and every pick for the NFL draft. Now let's get into the chat. What do you guys got for me tonight? Anything crazy? What's good, everybody? Jet up indeed. People saying Hutchinson is dropping. We'll see. I'm not really going to get my hopes up about that. I really do not expect Aiden Hutchinson to drop, but there definitely is some rumors that he could be the pick at number 4 if he falls to number 4. Jets forever want Sauce Gardner desperately. Elena's in the chat. What's good, Elena? Hope you're having a great night. Good to see you in the chat, of course. Will says Aiden dropping. And now D-Mars is humbling us. Aiden ain't dropping. Y'all crazy. Yeah, guys, do not expect Aiden Hutchinson to drop. But anything can happen, right? Anything can happen. Hey, Colin saying with the 10th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select. And if this is the case, you guys know what that means. Deebo Samuel is a New York Jet, if that happens. Julian wants JJ at 4, trade 10 for Deebo. I'd absolutely love that. With Tyler Linderbaum at 5, that's a home run. Thomas, a great member of Jets Media, says San Francisco going to choke on Deebo. We'll see. Anthony grounds us saying no chance Hutch falls to 4. Yeah, most likely he's not falling to 4. But we'll see about that. So Matt brings up something that I was about to get to as well. We heard from Zach Wilson and George Fenton in the media today, and George Fenton has said that they talked about a contract extension. No deal has been struck. We don't know if there's any progress towards a deal, but there's obviously interest between the Jets front office and George Fenton to keep him long-term. As we know, he is a player entering the final year of his contract, and he could be either walking out the door this season or he could be back on an extension. I think George Fenton is probably one of the most underrated players on this entire team. I think he is a player that Joe Douglas does not get enough credit for in free agency. He was Joe Douglas's first ever free agent signing. And I remember, I'll never forget, at the time, we're all waiting for the Jets to make a move in free agency that year. And we signed George Fenton to a 3-year, $30 million contract. And Jets fans are like, what? That's our first move? But he ends up being one of the most important pieces to this entire offensive line. So I'm all on board with the George Fenton extension. He's still only 30 years old, which is not that old. When you're 30 years old as an offensive lineman, you're in the perfect age to be that veteran that's a rock if you can stay healthy. You know, there's some offensive linemen that play well into their early 30s. So if we can give him a nice 3-year contract extension, have him locked up here for another 3 years, I'm totally all for it, man. I think he deserves an extension. But the big question about George Fenton and Mekhi Becton really is Ike Ekwonu going to be the pick at number 4? Because me knowing Joe Douglas, and he's all about best player available approach. If Ike Ekwonu is available at number 4, there's no doubt in my mind, if we can see an inside look at Joe Douglas's draft board, Ekwonu is going to be at the top. Now, if the Jets do decide to go Ekwonu, what the heck happens with Mekhi Becton and George Fenton? That's a complete mystery to me. I don't know if they're going to just roll the dice with those 3 and have an open competition, and one of those 3 becomes the swing tackle for the season, or one of George Fenton or Mekhi Becton gets dealt, because there are some crazy rumors that Mekhi Becton is not expected to be with the Jets next year that I am not buying one bit. So Ike Ekwonu is a very interesting conversation in terms of if we do draft him. I love Ike Ekwonu. I feel like he would take this offensive line to the next level for the long term. And Ike Ekwonu being the pick at number 4 is telling you that the New York Jets are looking in the long term with this franchise, and they're trying to set up this offensive line to be dominant for the next 5 to 10 seasons plus, not just 2022. Because if you look at the offensive line right now, it's pretty much set from left to right. You know, we got Fenton, Becton as the 2 tackles. We got McGovern as the center. And we got AVT and Lincoln Tomlinson as 2 guards. That's a starting 5 solid unit. But if Joe Douglas feels like Ike Ekwonu is a difference maker and he wants him on this team long term, I would not be shocked if the New York Jets select Ike Ekwonu. Now, like I said over and over again, I just don't know what they're going to do if they do draft him with Becton and Fenton. But another player that is very likely to be a New York Jet in the NFL draft that's becoming a really hot commodity is Jermaine Johnson. I've been high on Jermaine Johnson for a long time. Honestly, ever since the Senior Bowl, he really impressed me there. I dove deep into his film. I watched a lot of stuff on Jermaine Johnson, and I'm like, wow, he's a perfect fit for this team. Jermaine Johnson needs to be a Jet in my eyes. I personally would love him. I prefer him at number 10. I'd rather him fall to us and not reach for him at number 4. But if he is the pick at number 4, I'm not complaining because that tells me that the New York Jets front office fell in love with him. They had an up-close personal perspective of Jermaine Johnson at the Senior Bowl. They knew his values. They know his tendencies. They know everything about him and all these other draft prospects. But Jermaine Johnson is becoming one of my favorite players in this draft that I feel like has a very likely chance to be the New York Jets coming tomorrow night. I have a feeling it's going to happen, guys. So that's where I want to start off the show. I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the chat right now. And I want you guys to make sure you listen to my question here. Who do you think is going to be the pick at number 4? Now, let me re-say it. Who do you think is going to be the pick at number 4? Not who you want to be the pick at 4. Very big difference. There's a difference between who you want the Jets to pick and the difference between who you predict they actually will pick. So everybody spam in the chat who you think is going to be the pick, not who you want. Because you can say you could want this player, but you think they're going to pick this player, right? Big difference. So just because somebody is saying a specific player in the chat does not mean they necessarily want that player, but they have a feeling that's going to be the pick. Okay? Hopefully I clear that up. Because I made a tweet earlier today asking that question. I had a feeling that a lot of people were just going with who they wanted instead of who they actually genuinely believe. Like if you were a betting man and you were putting money on, all your money on this player, who would it be? Now let's get into the chat to see what you guys have to say. Daniel says, Dolphins fans supporting your channel, Richie. Keep up the great work. Content coming. Thank you so much, Daniel. I appreciate that. Really does appreciate it when I see some AFC East rival fans come into the Jets media and show some love and support. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate you. All right, so the people that have spoken. Austin says KT. Ninja Dude says Sauce, and then JJ. Zach says KT. Will says Icky. Wild Wave says Sauce. Brandon, Icky or Hutch. Julian says Aquanu, Sauce, Jordan Davis. This is interesting. No one's really talking about this. Now, I know Jets Forever is saying this because he wants him. I'm catching you, Jets Forever. I said, who do you think is going to be the pick, not who you want. Nah, I know that you probably think the pick Sauce. I don't know. We'll see. Fan said he's a true left tackle. He said he's a leader. He said he wants to be part of the turnaround for this organization. I'm all for extending him. Jennifer Johnson, 4. Aquanu, Thibodeau, Sauce. Steven thinks it's Garrett Wilson at 4. That would be a crazy shocker. Kayvon Thibodeau. It will be an edge, so Tibbs or JJ. Akim, unless Hutch drops. Aquanu, hopefully not, but I think so. Now, this is the type of answers I want, right? You're predicting who it's going to be, not who you want to be. And that's what Eric says. He predicts it to be Aquanu, but he hopes it's not Aquanu. Good answer. Steven says maybe Sauce. Michael thinks it's going to be Jermaine Johnson. So everybody is all over the place. Like, nobody knows. It's not like a consensus pick. And obviously, it depends on who's available or not. I think their board is Hutch, Aquanu, Jermaine Johnson, Walker. I can see that. Tibbs at 4. I think it's real. So, and now this is probably the most honest answer I've seen in the chat so far. No freaking clue who's going 4. I have no idea either. None of us do. Because there's so many different reports that's conflicting our brains where we're all over the place. I'm a Lions fan, but I think y'all getting KT. Interesting. Who do you want at 2? I'm curious to hear from this Lions fan. Appreciate you tuning in to the channel, supporting your Detroit Lions. What up, Jets Mess? Welcome into the stream. Zachary says Drake London at 10. All right, now let's talk about a specific player now, because I want to hear your guys' thoughts of this. Now, there's a lot of hype around Sauce Gardner. I personally believe, listen, I am just giving you guys my opinion and my prediction. Just because what I'm saying does not mean it's going to happen. But I just personally cannot see Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh not take a player in the trenches at pick number 4. I don't see it. The only way Sauce Gardner is the pick at 4 in my eyes is if Ekwonu's not there, Hutchinson's not there, Thibodeau's not there. But then there's Walker and Jermaine Johnson available. So I just cannot see the New York Jets taking Sauce Gardner over one of those prime trench players. There are some reports saying that the Jets are very high on Sauce. And if Sauce is the pick, I would be pretty pumped up. I love Sauce Gardner. I think he's a phenomenal prospect that will take this defense to another level. But seeing where this Jets defense is, how it's constructed right now, I just see them going edge at 4 or O-lineman. And that's really where I'm at. Hearing what Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh say over and over to the point where it's like, all right, we get it. You love the trenches. Okay, Joe Douglas, we understand you like building this team through the trenches. So what makes people think that it won't be a trench player? Right? Like, I feel like it's going to be one of, like, if I had to put 4 players or 2 players, I think it's going to be one of Ekwonu or Jermaine Johnson at 4. I don't know, man. And I will say this. If the New York Jets pass on Kayvon Thibodeau, there's going to be a lot of upset Jet fans. A lot of pissed off Jets fans. Now, I low-key saw this coming. I really did. And I like Kayvon Thibodeau. I think his energy is pretty dope. I think he's infectious. I think he has that will to be great. But I know that Jets fans are going to be up in arms if we take Ekwonu over Thibodeau or Jermaine Johnson over Thibodeau. But I think the Jets are going to pass on him, man. And I could be completely wrong. Maybe I'm just a sucker for buying into all the smoke. But I felt this way months ago. I really did. Now, Fern brings up an excellent point. There will be a lot of pissed off fans regardless. No matter who the Jets pick, there will be pissed off fans. We all know how the Jets fans are. Are Jets fans going to boo the F out of Vegas? Possible. My man Dan's in the chat. What's good, brother? Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you joining in the show, Dan. Hope everything's well by you. You pumped up for the draft or what? I'm really okay with Gardner at 10th or 4th. I don't think he's going to fall to the 10th pick. The only way the Jets get Sauce in my eyes if we take him at 4. KT is business savvy, not football focused. Interesting take, Anthony. We can get a good swing tackle later on in the draft. Yes, we can. But there's not a prospect out there like Ekwonu, which makes me feel like the Jets are just not going to pass up on it. Oh my God, it's going to be a crazy ride, guys. It's going to be such a crazy ride. Now, let's talk about Deebo Samuel real quick. Let's talk about Deebo Samuel. Do you guys expect Deebo to be a New York Jet or what? Let me know about Deebo Samuel because I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Apparently, the latest update on Deebo Samuel is the New York Jets are very interested in acquiring him. The problem is 49ers just don't want to trade him. But Deebo Samuel wants out. So it's a very interesting dynamic going on here. That Deebo Samuel wants out. The Niners do not want to trade him, and the Jets are interested. So the big question is, are the 49ers going to just pull the trigger? Because time's ticking. If they want to move Deebo, they better move him before the draft so they can get that capital to get for it now. It'll be a mistake for the Niners to not trade him before the draft and holding out. So I feel like Jets fans don't really expect Deebo Samuel to be a Jet. I don't know. It really frustrates me. It doesn't frustrate me. That's not the right word, but it just grinds my gears the wrong way that the Jets are the favorites and we're talked about all over the place that Deebo's going to be a Jet. Deebo's going to be a Jet. And us Jets fans are sitting back like, come on, we already went through this with Tyreek. Like, you can't do this to us to the point where Deebo either goes somewhere else or he just stays put. And we're sitting here like, here we go again. He is not coming here. But at the same time, the one thing I know about Joe Douglas is he was super aggressive for Tyreek Hill, and he said that he learned from his mistakes of missing out on Tyreek, and he's going to learn from it. And Zach Wilson talked to the media today, and he said that the Jets are going to be aggressive for Deebo. And T.A. Rugg brings up a great point. John Lynch has to trade Deebo whether he likes it or not, which is why I feel like it's going to happen. It's going to be to the Jets, baby. Hey, Rich, it's my mom's B-Day. Got to give Sherry a shout-out. She's a big fan. Hey, happy birthday. Happy birthday to your mother. Appreciate the support, AM. Tell your mother I said happy birthday. Hope she had a fantastic day. It's going to be a draft night move. They're playing chicken with Joe D. It could happen on draft night. Very, very possible. Richie, the Deebo trade about to be done before midnight. Book it. Oh, Joe Cool NYC's coming in here with a hot take. I love the hot take, man. Let's see it. What's up, Richie? Finns are going to get him, bruh. Can you imagine Waddle, Tyreek, and Deebo? Would you consider Finns? Bruh. Okay. The Dolphins are not getting Deebo Samuel, okay? Congratulations. You got Tyreek Hill. There's absolutely 0% chance that the Miami Dolphins are going to get Deebo Samuel for many reasons. Just because you guys got McDaniel doesn't mean you're going to get Deebo Samuel. You put a lot of money into Tyreek Hill. You put a lot of draft capital into Tyreek Hill. You're not going to be able to afford to pay both of those wide receivers. So, you guys got Tyreek. We're getting Deebo. All right? All right? Enough of this. Nah, but I appreciate you. She said, thank you. Put a big smile on her face. Hey, I'm happy to do that. Love putting a smile on people's faces. Hope she had a beautiful day. I bet a bill on the Jets to win the Super Bowl at odds minus 20K to 1. Please get Deebo. That'd be crazy. Traylon Burks at 10, superstar. I would love Traylon Burks. Lynch feels a bit old school, though. He may play chicken and see if Deebo is going to actually sit out or he's going to get him for 3 years with 2 tags. See, this is possible because Deebo Samuel has a ton of leverage in this situation. No, I'm sorry. The Niners kind of have leverage in this situation because they don't have to pay him right now. They can tag him for another 2 years and be there for 3 years. But the question is, Deebo willing to sit out, right? That's when the situation gets ugly. We've seen players all around the league throughout the past 5 years. If they want out, they'll get out. Jamal with the Jets, Jalen Ramsey with the Jaguars, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill. You know, we're in an era of NFL where if a player wants out, they low-key will be out of there. Pappy with the $5 super chat. Great member on the channel. Thank you so much, my man. Everyone give Dono hype in the chat for Pappy 1994. If 49ers move him, why not now? That's why I don't believe we're getting Deebo. Listen, I think the reason why the Niners have not traded Deebo Samuel up until this point is because the 49ers simply don't want to trade Deebo Samuel. The situation is very unique. Deebo wants out. The Niners do not want to trade him. And we have a team like the Jets who are calling them like, give us Deebo, please, just give us. And then the Niners like, we don't want to trade him, but we might have to. We don't want to trade Deebo Samuel. but he wants out. So just give us a couple of hours to focus on this. I think that's what's happening right now. That's exactly what's happening. Deebo wants out. The Niners do not want to trade him, which is why there's no trade yet. But the Niners have a really big decision to make because they got to trade him if he seriously wants out. Appreciate the dono, Pappy. King Jamie the Mad with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, my man. You are very good. Very big subscriber on the channel, man. You support the Jets, even though you're a Chiefs fan. Appreciate you big time. Deebo makes my bet a huge odds killer. Hi, Richie. Sweet vacation you had. Thank you. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Vacation was phenomenal. Appreciate you. And it feels good to be back talking Jets, though. Not going to lie. Appreciate the $5 super chat, though. Screw the Brooklyn Nets. Sorry, any Nets fans that I'm a Knicks fan. I had to say it. I'm all in on Jermaine Johnson at 4. He's the real deal. Me too. I'm all in on Jermaine Johnson number 4 as well. And I think Jets fans should be more open to this option. Some Jets fans feel like it's a reach. I'm all in on Jermaine. Are you here waiting on the Deebo trade? We're here waiting on the Deebo trade, and we're here talking some Jets talk. This is like more like Deebo Samuel watching in case a report comes out about Deebo potentially to talk about. But we're talking about the hypothetical scenarios with the draft tomorrow and Deebo Samuel. After the draft, we'll find out there was never any Tyreek package. We'll see, man. I'm a Seahawks fan, just loving these takes, bro. Thanks, man. Is this sarcasm or you? No, you want Deebo out of your division. I don't blame you. Get him out of the division. I'm down. Bring him over to the AFC East to the New York Jets. Skid with the 99-cent super sticker. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. Thanks, man. But listen, I think that the New York Jets could get Deebo Samuel without giving up the 10th pick. I genuinely believe that. If they offer a similar package to what they did to Kansas City for Tyreek Hill, you can offer 35, 38, and 69. That is a lot. And another quick thing about this whole Deebo Samuel situation is, and I don't know if there's probably a handful of 49ers in this chat right now, and there's no disrespect to you guys, but there are some Niners fans that think the only way Deebo comes to the Jets if we're giving them Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore ain't going nowhere. And I tweeted that out today, and the tweet blew up, and it hit Niners Twitter, and they're all like, you wouldn't trade Elijah Moore for Deebo? What are you, delusional? Like, I don't know. There's a big difference here. I'm not saying trading Elijah Moore and Deebo for straight up I wouldn't do. I would not package Elijah Moore and a bunch of capital for Deebo. The whole point of getting Deebo Samuel here is to give him the number one option and bring him in to be next to Elijah Moore for the future. It makes no sense to trade Elijah Moore away for Deebo, right? Even though if Deebo is more established and a better player than Elijah Moore, which is obvious at this moment, I personally just would not include Elijah Moore in any conversation. If the Niners are saying we're not giving up Deebo without you giving us Elijah Moore and capital, then you just hang up the phone and say, all right, well, then we'll draft the receiver at number 10. We're going to draft Jameson Williams. We're going to draft Drake London. That's what's going to happen. So the Elijah Moore to San Francisco, not happening. That is 100% not happening. Niners media is in the chat. Deebo's going to stay with the Niners. We won't be trading him. Very likely. Very, very likely that this happens. As a Jets fan, listen, my expectations is for him not to be a Jet simply because we don't get nice things very often. And I was scarred from that Tyreek Hill situation. And I'm not expecting him to be a Jet, because if I'm expecting him to be a Jet and he's not a Jet, that's setting myself up to be depressed. That's setting myself up to be very disappointed. So we'll see what that happens. Oh, we got some Dolphins hate. What a crap show the Jets are. Oh, I mean, I don't know what we're doing to make it seem like we're a crap show, but thank you, Ben. Cheers. What When do you think the latest for a Deebo trade is? I think the latest is the night of the draft, when the New York Jets are on the clock at number 10. It could happen literally like the night of the draft. All of a sudden, the Jets are on the clock at 10, and you see a trade with the Niners, and we're like, oh, the San Francisco 49ers have traded the New York Jets. And we got Deebo, and all of a sudden, we pick whoever we picked at 4, we're celebrating because he's a dog. And at number 10, we're like, hey, let's go. So when it comes to the some mock drafts, like a lot of people have Trayvon Walker going number 1, which is crazy because Trayvon Walker just shot up draft boards in the past couple of months. So if Walker goes number 1, the Lions are a big wild card for me. There's some people saying that Kayvon Thibodeau might be the pick at number 2 or Hutchinson. Some people say it could be Malik Willis for all I know. And number 3, there's people saying that Houston loves Stingley potentially. Like, it's just like, dude, this draft is going to be so interesting because nobody has any idea of what to expect. Nobody has a clue. That's why this is going to be dope. That's why this draft is about to be crazy, and that's why you guys got to tune into my stream tomorrow night to get my live reaction, baby. Deebo's not coming to Miami, and I say that with so much confidence. Like, seriously. Deebo is not going to Miami. But Deebo is going to the Jets, baby. No, I'm kidding. We'll see. Listen, guys, in the whole Deebo Samuel situation, to me speaking to my fellow Jets fans, do not expect Deebo Samuel on the Jets because the 49ers want a lot for him. And we know that Joe Douglas does not overpay for players. So if the Niners really feel like that they have to give up on Deebo, and the Jets do give a strong enough offer, it happens. But I just don't think it's going to happen, man. I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. There's still other players that I would love in the trade market, like A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, but those two guys are not in the trade market. The difference between Deebo is he demanded a trade, and the dynamic is crazy because, and I said it earlier on the stream, Deebo wants out. The Niners do not want to trade Deebo, and the Jets are extremely interested in Deebo. So something has to go. Something has to give. It's only one of a couple options. It's either Deebo gets extended with the Niners, Deebo stays put but doesn't sign an extension, he sits out with the Niners, or he's traded to the New York Jets. And let me remind Jets fans of another thing. If we do not get Deebo Samuel and he stays put in San Francisco, or he gets traded to another team like the Detroit Lions or the Green Bay Packers, those are the other two teams that are interested in him, it is not the end of the world because the New York Jets have so much draft capital to the point where we can find a stud receiver in the NFL draft. Now, would I prefer Deebo Samuel over a rookie receiver? Absolutely. But if we have to go to plan B, that plan B is pretty darn good. Because say hello to Drake London, or say hello to Treylon Burks, or say hello to Jameson Williams, or Garrett Wilson, or Chris Olave. I mean, there's so many wide receivers in this draft that I love. So if we miss out on Deebo, it's unfortunate. He's a star receiver that would take this offense to another level, but it's all good because we got another stud in the NFL draft to partner up with Elijah Moore for the future. And that's what I want to remind Jets fans about it. If you see Deebo Samuel get traded elsewhere, or you see Deebo Samuel sign an extension with San Francisco, it's going to sting at first, but don't forget about all of the draft capital that we have to be able to strike a receiver in the draft. And like Fern says, cheaper wide receiver at 10 for the next 4 to 5 years. So there's pros and cons to both situations. Now, if you're telling me which one I prefer, it's definitely Deebo Samuel. I think it's worth giving up that draft capital. I think it's worth paying him that money at this point in the Jets organization. But that's just me. King JB the Mad with the $10 super chat. My man is generous tonight. Thank you so much, my man. Really does mean a lot to me. I love that You support the Jets all the way from wherever you are. I think you're in Kansas City, but correct me where you're at. Had to do this because I'm late so much. You are fantastic at bringing me my Jets news, bro. Keep up awesome work, Richie. Thank you so much, man. It really does mean a lot. The support means a lot. I always see your comments after every stream, even if you're not watching it live. I know that you watch it on replay. I know that you're always watching my streams, and it really does mean a lot. This donation goes a long way. King Jamie the Mad. Hope you're doing well by wherever you are, my man. Hope you're doing well. Everybody give King Jamie the Mad some dono hype. We got this guy is a Chiefs fan, but loves the Jets. I guess the Jets are his second squad, and he roots for us. That's what we like to see, baby. Born and raised north of KC. I work out west now, Utah these days. Look at that, man. You're following the Jets from Utah. You love it. Absolutely love it. Give me DK for 35-38. Lou, I'm down. I don't see it happening. DK Metcalf seems like he's going nowhere. There's literally no buzz happening, but all of a sudden, you never know. That can just like flip on its head for all we know. Now, Keith does bring up a great point. Ignorant fans say we get a stud at 10 this week's class. This week class, not as good as last year. No guarantee you don't get a bust. This is true. Just because we're drafting a player at the wide receiver position at 10 does not mean he's going to be a star. Now, that's something that we have to remind ourselves about. So, Keith does bring up a great point here. What's the latest news on Deebo Samuel? So, the latest news on Deebo Samuel is there's no trade imminent, and the New York Jets are extremely interested. The San Francisco are not interested in trading him, but Deebo Samuel wants to be traded. So that's really where we're at right now. The Jets are aggressively pursuing Deebo. The Niners are saying, no, we do not want to trade him, but they also have that thought lingering in their head that, wait, Deebo wants out, so what do we do here? So that's kind of the situation right now. It's a little funky. Very funky. And the Niners have a really interesting decision to make. Very interesting. Niners will not trade just for the 10th pick. It has to be a lot more. Facts. I think it'll be like the 10th pick plus a couple mid-round picks. If that is the package, right? Treylon Burks is my day one superstar. I love Treylon Burks, man. I feel like he is a perfect fit for this offense. Paul wants Sauce at 4. Interesting. I would love Sauce as well. Do you still want to trade for Metcalf if it becomes available? 100%, Michael. 100%. I just don't really think DK is available. You know, think of it in the Seahawks perspective. First of all, why would they ever do a trade with the Jets again in their life? Number two, they're in rebuild mode right now, but they have a star talent at receiver. Why would they want to give up on him? They want to build around DK instead of moving on from him. Unless the only way that this happens is if DK goes up to the front office and says, get me out of here. But as of right now, it's not happening. So don't expect DK to be on the Jets. Matthew says Deebo is not worth 10. If we trade 10 for Deebo, we need 93 with him. Yeah, I think if we give up 10 and a couple mid-round picks, it's going to be Deebo and another mid-round pick from the Niners coming back, if I had to guess. Make them an offer they cannot refuse. Very possible. Richie, is J-Mo the pick at 10 if the Jets don't get Deebo, then get another receiver in the second while J-Mo's out? Listen, you guys know me. J-Mo is my favorite receiver in this entire draft class. It's unfortunate that he has an injury because if it wasn't for this injury, I'd be like, draft that guy at 4 because he's stacked good. So if the Jets decide to get Jameson Williams at pick number 10, you might have to consider drafting another receiver earlier, maybe in the second or third round, because the one thing about J-Mo is he's not going to be ready to go by week 1. And we're trying to get an evaluation of Zach Wilson in year 2. So I don't know, man. Jameson Williams is so good. It's so hard for me to say that the Jets are going to pass on him. Less than 24 hours. Can't wait indeed, Sean. Let's go. Carlos says first round, Sauce, Burks, Jermaine Johnson. So we're going to come away with 3 of these players. Whew, that would be nuts. This isn't a playoff year. J-Mo's an amazing pick at 10. This is exactly why I would love Jameson Williams, Fern. This is why I always come back to when I'm talking about Jermaine, when I'm talking about Williams. This team, as we know, is not going all in to win the Super Bowl this year. Breaking news. The Jets are not trying to win it all. They're gonna attempt it, right? I'm not saying they're gonna go in there with the losing mindset. We saw DJ Reed actually on Twitter today talking about the Super Bowl, which is what you love to see. But the Jets need to have a long-term perspective here, and Jameson Williams would be that exact thing, where they really see a future with him. Are you live streaming the draft? 100% Noah. The streams are already up and scheduled on the channel. I'll be live tomorrow night. I'll be live Friday night, and I'll be live Saturday during the day. So make sure you guys go to those streams, hit the notification bell, like those streams already, so we can get ready for a crazy, crazy weekend here on Jets Media, man. I hope you guys are ready for my live reaction. Last year was awesome. This is my second year doing it. Richie, would you give up 10 and 38 for Deebo? Oof, this is a tough one. I feel like the only way that we have to give up 10 and 38 for Deebo, they have to give us another pick back. It would have to be 10 and 38 for like Deebo and like their third for me to consider this. This is a little bit of an overpay. But me thinking about Deebo Samuel with Elijah Moore and Corey Davis and Braxton Berrios and Michael Carter and Tyler Conklin and CJ Uzama with that stud O-line that we got gets me a little giddy, guys. Not going to lie. That is a big overpay. So I would probably say no for 10 and 38 just because those could be two premier starters for this franchise immediately. But the problem is San Francisco is going to ask for like probably even more than this package. And that's why I feel like this trade might not happen. You know what I mean? Would the Tyreek Hill package get us Deebo? I think it should, right? I mean, that Tyreek Hill package, we gave up 35, 38, and 69. That's pretty damn good. I don't know. Wait, I just saw a good thing. What did I see? Oh, yeah. Would you want Scary Terry if he's available? Yes, Kevin. I think he's a very underrated receiver, but he's not available right now. I know that he is going into a contract year. We could look for him maybe next year, but we'll see. Deebo Jermaine Linderbaum. Yo. Ragnar, don't do that to me. You know how I feel about Linderbaum. You know how I feel about Linderbaum, man. Christopher gives us a dream scenario. Deebo for the Tyreek package. 4 Thibodeau, 10 trade back for wide receiver plus Linderbaum. So you want to get Deebo and still draft a receiver. So we draft the receiver and get Deebo? That would be pretty crazy. The 10 pick us more valuable to a team like San Fran because they have way less needs than us. So they want 10, not 35, 38, 69. They also don't have a first round pick this year. So you're on something. You're onto something there, Matthew. Corey says, I don't think this trade is happening. Running up against draft, JD offered Tyreek package and Niners aren't budging. You know JD won't overpay. Facts. JD's not going to overpay. But I'm kind of down for him too in a way. Without overpaying a little too much, if that makes any sense. Probably doesn't at all. What's up, gang? What up, Ali? Welcome to the stream. You aren't finding a Deebo at 10 or 38, LOL. The Niners are going to want more than those picks. They aren't even trying to trade him unless overwhelmed. Now, this is very true, which is why I don't really know if there's going to be a Deebo Samuel trade because the Niners simply just don't want to trade him away. And they're only going to trade him away if they're overwhelmed by an offer to the point where they can't resist. And knowing Joe Douglas, he's not going to just throw all of his capital for one player. He's gonna He's going to offer his package, and if he gets declined, he might give him another offer, but it keeps getting declined, and he'll be like, all right, man, you want too much. I'll just go out there and get Jameson Williams and call it a day. Call it a day. Feel me? Let's call it a day. Who else is pre-draft fatigue? If what you mean by like mock drafts and all this spec and all these rumors and stuff, yeah, it is tiring. What are the Jets doing? I don't know. I wish I knew, man. If we miss out on Deebo over cheapness on some dumb draft chart, that would be bad. Don't overpay a lot, but if you need to use 10 to get it done, make it happen. I agree. I mean, I would personally give him the 10th pick for him. If the Niners want more than 10, JD should hang up the damn phone. Tony Pauline saying 49ers already own the 10th pick. This guy is a Gronk. Yeah, don't listen to Tony Pauline, man. Don't listen to that guy. He's getting my hopes up a little too much. When would JMO play if we draft him? I'm not too sure. All I know is he is ahead of schedule. I do know that he's a stud, so draft him if he's there. Joe Douglas, okay? He's my favorite player this entire draft. Like, just go watch his film and his highlights and tell me that is not exactly who Joe Douglas wants to put on this team in his offense. Deebo has his hands tied. He can cry and bitch, but in the end, San Francisco has all the power. They can franchise tag him for another 2 years. Yeah, that is very true. But the big thing is we've seen players around the league hold out and not play, sit down like Le'Veon Bell did. Now, am I saying that Deebo's going to do that? Probably not. I have no idea. But this has become a players' league, and if a player wants out, they could do something to get him out, man. But you are right, because the dynamic with this situation is San Francisco does not want to trade him, but Deebo wants out. And the Niners do have all the leverage in this situation, which is why this is a very unique situation that we've got talking about. Who do you want with 10 if you don't trade for Deebo? I want Jameson Williams. If we do not trade for Deebo Samuel, I want that 10th pick to be a wide receiver personally. Jameson Williams is my number one guy. I would also love Garrett Wilson. I would also love Treylon Burks. I'd also like Drake London. So if that answers your question. I never heard your actual thoughts on KT. What are they? So Kayvon Thibodeau is very interesting in my perspective because I absolutely love his game. I feel like he would be a game wrecker for this New York Jets defense. But at the same time, when all the stuff came out months ago about Kayvon Thibodeau potentially sliding because of his character concerns, his off the field issues, whatever those issues are, it got right when I read about it, and I was like, you know what? I don't know anything about Kayvon Thibodeau. I don't know if these rumors are true or not, that he's just not all there mentally. He's not a good culture fit. But the one thing that I do know about the New York Jets and Joe Douglas is they prioritize character more than anything else. They're trying to get the right pieces to build this franchise. And when you draft someone with the 4th pick, you want someone that is all about the team. And again, I don't know anything about Kayvon Thibodeau in terms of his personality other than just watching him on interviews and stuff. So I would not be shocked if the New York Jets passed on him for that reason. Not saying it's the right or wrong move, but that's how I feel about Kayvon Thibodeau. If he is the pick at number 4, I'm going to be ecstatic because I really do love him. You guys lost on Tyreek. I can see the Jets giving up quite a bit to get Deebo and not letting another one slip. Yeah, I agree. You heard Zach Wilson speak to the media today, and he said, we didn't get Tyreek, but I'm sure they're going to be aggressive if the next opportunity presents itself. And this opportunity is definitely presenting itself. It's right here. Deebo's available. KT is all about himself. Now, I do get that vibe. I do get this vibe. So we'll see what happens. If we get Hutchinson at 4, I will cry. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not getting my hopes up for this. Matthew says, I absolutely love Kayvon Thibodeau's attitude. He wants to succeed, and he wants his brand to succeed, and he knows he has to produce for that to happen. It also means he wants to be around for years to come. He also said that New York is his second home, and that kind of got me pumped up, visualizing him with the Jets. If he goes anywhere, just don't go to the Giants, please, because that would just really sit with me wrong. If we pass on him, he goes to the Giants, he becomes a beast for them. We'll be like, oh, God. You guys reading this? Are you guys reading this? You guys see this guy? Not happening. Sorry, I just had to take a moment of silence of, whoa, that is not happening, man. Not happening, man. These trade deals are hilarious, man. Oh, man. This is going to be crazy to see what happens with Deebo Samuel, man. I just want, like, at this point, can we just see Deebo get extended or traded, right? I'm sure Niners fans and Jets fans both want one of those things to happen. They want this saga to be over with. And luckily, it'll be over by tomorrow night. For sure. Hey, man, not going to lie, though. 49ers fans, I have a lot of respect for. San Francisco 49ers fans are very supportive of my channel. Not every single one of them, but majority of them are. And Jets fans need to realize that we're low-key the East Coast 49ers. And now the Dolphins are trying to replicate that by getting Mike McDaniels. Well, sorry, we're a year ahead of you guys. We got Saleh and LaFleur. So you can try all you want with Mike McDaniels and all that. But we got Saleh, baby, and LaFleur. But the one thing about Niners fans is they definitely are making some crazy-ass trade packages. Because, and I don't blame them. When you see these crazy trade packages that the Niners fans are bringing up, I mean, you can't blame them. Put your minds in their perspective, right? I mean, the New York, first of all, let me just put things in perspective for a second. The New York Jets got 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick for Jamal Adams. So, for Niners fans saying they want 2 firsts and a second for Deebo Samuel, put up those type of numbers last year, it's not that far-fetched. Just because if you compare it to, I have no idea how the Jets did that with Jamal Adams, by the way. But I'm not saying the Niners fans are right with that, but you can't blame them as a diehard fan of their team wanting the most capital that they can get off of a guy that just put up historical numbers. That's something I would say. But we'll see, man. Hey, guys, want to help me get to 100 likes? We have 93 likes with 260 of you guys tuning into the show. So if you guys want to help me out, make sure you hit that like button for your boy so we can get 100 likes. That would be sick. Make sure you do that for your boy. Let's get it going. So I've been live for just under an hour, and this has been pretty damn fun. We're not going anywhere because the Deebo Samuel watch is on. The Deebo Samuel is on. So another thing I want to bring up is Aiden Hutchinson is, according to Vegas, getting a lot of buzz to the New York Jets. That's pretty wild. I didn't expect that. But let me hear your guys' thoughts. Deebo! What do you guys say in the chat? I haven't looked at you guys in a while. Oh, man. So, I'm sorry, guys. I'm all over the place right now. I'm going to go on Twitter to see if there's any update that there's worth talking about, but I'm sure you guys would keep me updated in the chat if anything does happen. How about Will Parks on Twitter actively pursuing Deebo? And DJ Reed talking about stuff, saying that we're going to the Super Bowl. So all the latest stuff on Twitter really about the Jets is basically it's Ekwonu, Sauce, or Jermaine Johnson. I guess you could throw in Thibodeau and Walker and Hutchinson in that conversation. I don't even know, man. I don't even know what to expect anymore, man. I just don't. But the good news is we don't have to wait any longer. We wake up tomorrow morning, and it's the draft that night. And we're going to be live at 6:30 for an hour and a half before the stream, before the draft even starts to go crazy together. Aiden Hutchinson is now the betting favorite for the Jets. That's pretty wild. I think it's because, I don't know why, but if you give Robert Saleh, Aiden Hutchinson, I'm all for it. We got a bold take from Drippy Douglas. Calling it Deebo trade will happen on stream in a few. Bro, don't say this to me. Did I see the Mets fight? Of course I did, Zachary. I actually uploaded my video about the Mets series on my Mets media channel today. If you want to go check out my thoughts about the fight and the entire Cardinals and Mets series on Mets media. The Jets get Deebo, they become a playoff team. Yeah, I definitely agree. If the Jets get Deebo Samuel, then they have a real shot at being competitive. What's my record? I'm assuming you mean prediction. I'll answer this after the draft. We got a weekend, and then I can answer that with confidence. Matthew's edge rankings are Kayvon Thibodeau, Hutchinson, Walker, Karlaftis, Jermaine. Wow, you have Jermaine behind last. Damn, I got Jermaine high. Respect, Matthew. Respect to this. Jets NY102 with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much, my man. Draft Eve, may the force be with us. I love that. Here, wait, I got Yoda behind me. Where's Yoda at? Oh, oops. Where's Yoda at? I gotta turn him green. You see him? There he is. Will be a Jet, Deebo Samuel will. Haha. Did I do that right? Will be a Jet, Deebo Samuel will. Only Star Wars fans will understand what I just said there. That's me trying to be channeling my inner Star Wars nerd, but we'll see if anybody gets that. Oh, man, this is going to be fun. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. After the draft, smart answer. It's true. A Jet Deebo will be. There we go. A Jet Deebo will be. Matthew, he's not 24, and he's not close to 25, by the way. He turned 23 in January. So this is just false. Which means he'll be 23 his entire rookie season. Which is still pretty young in my eyes. May the 4th be with us. That's a good one. Do or do not. There is no try. One of my favorite Yoda quotes. My favorite Yoda quote is, train yourself to let go of everything you fear to lose. Basically impossible to do, but think about that for a second. Train yourself to let go of everything you fear to lose. Right. I fear to lose Deebo Samuel not coming to the Jets. How do I let go of that? McBride at 35. Hope he's there. He will be there, but he's not going to be the pick. Sorry, Jets forever. I love McBride with you, though, but he's not going to be the pick. I wish, but we got our tight ends. Just waiting for the news tomorrow morning. Deebo either getting traded or having an extension just to calm down some nerves. I'm down for this to happen. I'm down to no. Richie channeling the little master. Yoda is literally everything to me, by the way. You think Scene or Dean would be there in the second round? Yeah, I think both of these have an opportunity to be in the second round. I mean, we see every single year in the NFL draft, we got players falling all the time. Elijah Moore was the perfect example last year. So there's going to be players that fall. Is this the perfect trade? Hutch at 4, Wilson at 10, Linderbaum at 35, Dean at 38. I mean, oh my gosh. You're telling me that we're getting our edge rusher in Aiden Hutchinson, who falls to us somehow. We're getting Garrett Wilson at number 10 to be a stud receiver for us. We're getting Tyler Linderbaum at 35, who somehow fell out of the first round, and now our offensive line looks scary good for the future. And then we're getting Dean at 38, who somehow falls out of the first round. Where do I sign up for this? And I know you meant draft, not trade. If the Niners refuse the offer, the same for DK, see what Seattle does. I like your pro pick. We need a linebacker and a safety in the second round. Yeah, I think the second round is a perfect place for these two positions. If Deebo becomes a Jet, I'm getting my green and white colors. Are you a Niners fan, Adrian? Because if you're a Jets fan, I'm assuming you should already have some Jets colors, right? If we get Deebo, will we trade 2022 or 2023 picks? I think it would have to be 2022 picks. Maybe it could be both, right? It could be a 2022 pick and a 2023 pick. But if I'm the Jets, I'm holding on to our capital next year because there's not a lot of it. I'd rather trade the capital we have this year. Thoughts on Becton? My thoughts on Mekhi Becton has not changed. I think he's going to be A-okay this year. All the rumors and speculation about him, I'm not buying. I think that he's going to be coming in shape, and it's going to be up to him to prove to the coaching staff that he is ready to go and being a starting tackle for this New York Jets team, not only this year, but for the future. He had a fluke injury where his own teammate got thrown into his knee. And unfortunately for him, Mekhi Becton is just a giant human being, and he heals differently than others, which made him gain weight because if you have a knee injury, you're not doing any conditioning, and you're going to naturally gain weight at that size. So it's a really big offseason for Mekhi. He needs to get his head right, and I got confidence that he will just do that. Happy Draft Miss Eve, Jets fans. Hell yeah. Do you think Deebo can get traded for both seconds when the second round starts Friday? That could be an option as well, right? It could happen on draft night, Friday night. But that means the Jets do not take a receiver in the first round. Mekhi is not 405 right now. I'm pretty sure you're talking about he was 405 during the season when he was injured. He's not 405 currently anymore. Greg Van should be cut. What is JD waiting for? Listen, I mean, Greg Van Roten does provide depth. We don't really have anybody to plug in for somebody if they get injured. So you don't want to just cut GVR when you don't have anybody to replace him with, right? If we sign LDT, then you cut GVR, but we did not sign him. So it makes sense. Talking Jets with Tygo. Thank you, man. What's up? What's up, man? Yeah, so latest news on Deebo Samuel, pretty quiet. You know, Ian Rappaport said this morning that there's not really anything imminent about that's happening. So I'm not really expecting anything to happen on the stream or anything, even though that would be pretty sick if all of a sudden we refresh Twitter, there's a blockbuster trade. But guys, if you go to DraftKings, guess who is the favorite to be the number 4th pick to the New York Jets? Aiden Hutchinson is at plus 300. Wow. That is wild. Now, does Vegas know something we don't? Or are they just, I don't know how it works, to be honest. Jets NY102 with a $5 super chat. Appreciate you as always. It's been 11 years. At some point, the stars and planets will align in our favor, right? Smash a like button, put the vibes into the universe. Bro, this is beautifully said. Absolutely love that you're connecting the universe to this stream. $5 super chat. Appreciate you big time. Everybody listen to this super chat because it's true. Put the vibes into the universe by smashing that thumbs up button. We need to get a lot of things going our way. So hopefully the universe gifts us and everything aligns for the New York Jets. Appreciate the donation as always, my man. So guys, we are about to have a special guest join the show. This is somebody that is a very familiar face on my channel. Very familiar face. Can anybody guess who it's going to be? He hasn't been on the channel for quite some time. He's going to be joining the show for like around 20 minutes, and we're going to get his thoughts about what the Jets going to be doing. A lot of people have been asking for him. Where is he at? He'll be joining shortly. Some people probably don't know who I'm talking about. Some people do. But he'll be joining in the next few minutes. Stay tuned for that. And we're going to get his thoughts about what the Jets going to be doing this weekend. Let's go. It's not Ali. I see you guys in the chat saying Ali. It's not Ali. Every time I look at Twitter, I get butterflies for no reason, thinking I'm going to refresh and see something. Kevin's got it. Elon Musk is joining the show, the new Twitter CEO. Deebo is joining. All righty. I'm waiting for any news on Twitter. I don't see it. All right, this special guest has arrived. He's backstage dancing and prancing. And some people in the chat got it right. So let's bring him on. There he is. What up?
What up, man? Thanks for having me on, man. Very happy to be back. It's been a minute.
Of course, bro. It's been a minute. It's been quite some time. Welcome back to the show. A lot of people's been asking where the hell you've been. And I told them that you got a beautiful new job, that you've been a little busy. And they were asking if you're going to be on the channel tomorrow night for the draft. And I said, yes, he will. He's going to try his best to get there on time for the 4th pick. I told him everything. So,
man, I am stressing about that, man. I am stressing about that tomorrow night. I am hoping and praying that the 3 teams that pick before the New York Jets take their sweet ass time. And I'll roll back into East Meadow, at an appropriate time to watch us pick whoever the hell we're gonna pick. But I couldn't be any more excited, man. It's just absolutely crazy that it's here now. All these months of speculation and everything, and so many of our questions will be answered by this time tomorrow night. So I couldn't be any more excited. Very happy to be back here on Jets Media, and loving it.
Hennessy Heisman says you'll be good because it won't be till 8:40. So hopefully that's the case.
Hennessy, I hope you're right, man. I'm praying. It's only like a 15-20 minute drive from home, so hopefully I'll make it with ample time to spare. But yeah,
if you guys remember our stream last year, Jack and I's reaction to us getting Elijah Vera Tucker was legendary. We didn't expect him to be a Jet because it was so far-fetched, and he actually became a Jet, which was just so awesome to see. So Jack, I want to hear your thoughts about this whole situation regarding the Jets pick at number 4. There's rumors all over the place to the point where we have no idea who the hell the pick is going to be at number 4. There's a lot of rumors, and a lot of Jets fans are calling it smoke, where they're not believing it. But there's multiple people, not just one, saying that the Jets might not take Kayvon Thibodeau, even if he's available at number 4, and would prefer a guy like Jermaine Johnson. There's also people like DJ saying that if Ekwonu is available at number 4, he will be the pick because he's that high on the board. And the big question with that is, if he's the pick, what happens to Becton or Fant? Are they going to trade one of them, or are they going to go into the training camp with those 3 tackles to compete? There's also some other reports saying that they're so high in Sauce Gardner. So there's also, just to keep you updated, if you go on DraftKings Sportsbook, the favorite to be the Jets pick at number 4 is Aiden Hutchinson. So now all of a sudden people are saying maybe Hutchinson falls to the Jets at number 4. So there is so much to the point where it's like, finally it's tomorrow night so we can stop talking about all this hypothetical what if. So what's your gut telling you tomorrow night at number 4, and who do you prefer the Jets to take at number 4?
I think my gut and my preferred are going to be the same person, and that's Kayvon Thibodeau, man. That's who I've been thinking for a while now. I know there's so much smoke out there saying that, there's no way Kayvon's going to the Jets. I think Connor Hughes even tweeted out today, there's no way that Joe Douglas is drafting KT, or however the Jets will not be drafting him. I don't know, man. We've known Joe Douglas throughout his tenure as our GM to run a tight ship. We don't really get many leaks out of Joe Douglas's office, man. Basically none at all. So, if we were to pick a guy like Thibodeau, it would make perfect sense for me because that's Joe Douglas right there. It would be super Joe Douglas to make it look like he has absolutely no interest in one player and then goes and grabs that player because that's probably the guy he wants all along. Me personally, I think there's no way that Joe Douglas can get out of the first round without taking an edge rusher. And I definitely think it's going to happen at 4. My thoughts on that haven't been altered for a while now. And I think KT's the guy, man. I really think he's the guy. Now, I do understand there's a lot of Jermaine Johnson hype. And I'm at a point now where I'm not going to get too biased towards one player or another because, anything can happen. But a reason that I wouldn't be upset at all if, let's say, a guy like Jermaine Johnson was the guy is because the Jets are, one of only 2 teams that got to have a really up-close personal look at Jermaine Johnson over the course of the Senior Bowl week. They loved what he saw from him. They loved what they saw from him so much that Jermaine didn't even feel the need to play in the game at the end of the week and risk his health. If they were to take a player like that, I wouldn't be upset at all because there's a good reason for doing so. I'm just happy to be, a team that's in good standings in terms of our draft capital and cap space and all that stuff. I don't think that I know this sounds crazy, but I don't think we can really lose at pick 4, man. Like whether it's Ekwonu, whether it's Jermaine Johnson, Thibodeau, if Hutchinson falls to us, like you said, Sauce Gardner would be something I would probably be the least happy about just because I really, really want a dynamic edge presence. And I think it needs to happen at 4. But if the Deebo thing falls through, then we'll have pick 10 as well. And we could always go edge at 10. 10 is a spot where you can definitely grab a Jermaine Johnson, I would imagine. So we'll see, man. The options are literally endless. The beats reporters, it's their job to just tweet out whatever they can, I guess, because over the past couple days, it seems like every first-round prospect is like starting to be linked to the Jets somehow. It's like, okay, like what's going on here, guys? Like, let's just wait for the draft. Let's see who Joe Douglas picks. I think the best way to go into it is to just have faith in your general manager. Don't get too attached to one player or another because they're most likely not going to be the pick. That's just how it goes. And I'm just super excited, man, to welcome some new Jets to the squad.
I know it's going to be a long time coming for the Jets tomorrow night, having 2 top 10 picks. They have such a gigantic opportunity to really take a big step. I mean, we can all of a sudden look back at this draft and say this is the reason why the Jets have changed their entire franchise, because coming off of last year's draft class, we all can say with confidence that Joe Douglas hit an absolute home run. We cannot say the same thing about his draft class 2 years ago in his first time being the Jets general manager. I think we all understand that draft just was not good. The good news is the second draft was a home run. Now, the big question is, which one is this one going to be? Is it going to be down the middle? It's going to be all right. Is it going to be phenomenal again? Or is it going to be terrible? And the best part about this draft is Joe Douglas has the most capital he's ever had in his tenure with the Jets as the Jets general manager. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I want to hear your thoughts about the hypothetical scenario of Ekwonu being the pick at number 4, because if he is the pick, right, that's more of a pick of they're looking into the long term. They see where the depth chart's looking like in the 2023 and 24. George Fant is on expiring contract, even though George Fant did speak to the media today, and he did say that the Jets have approached him for a contract extension. That has not been obviously done yet, but it is interesting to hear from George Fant that they have talked, at least in the beginning stages of a contract extension. That tells me that the Jets are somewhat interested. So if Ekwonu is the pick at number 4, the big question that I have, and obviously you don't know the answer to this, I don't know the answer to this, none of us know the answer to this, what the hell happens with Mekhi Becton or George Fant? Do they move on from one of the two? Do they go in with a competition and whoever loses is the swing tackle for that season? Me knowing Joe Douglas, he loves depth. So if Ekwonu is the pick, and it seems like it's a really good chance that he is the pick at number 4, what is this offensive line going to look like, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting to think about. I wish I had an answer for you. Nobody knows what would happen if that was the case. Part of me says if you're going to take a guy first overall, he better be producing in his rookie season. I mean, not first overall, 4th overall.
If they take him at 4, he's playing for sure.
Yeah, but then I'm also thinking, that spot is not just given. it's you got to earn that spot. And the reality is that we have George Pham, we have Mekhi Becton, and it's it would listen. I mean, I've been saying for so long now that I love Joe Douglas drafting offensive linemen in the first round. I just think that this might be the year, especially since we had a fantastic free agency. I think this might be the year to address the defensive side of the ball. I just don't see us. I mean, not that I just think it's a little less likely that we go Ekwonu than we do one of these edges.
And the one motto that Joe Douglas did bring up that he learned from Howie Roseman was a luxury today could be a necessity tomorrow. So that's kind of the mindset. I feel like if he were to take Ekwonu, where right now we don't really need him, but down the line we might need a tackle. And we know that the tackle position is a premier position in this league. So interesting to see what happens there. But let's get into the Deebo Samuel conversation, because that is definitely a huge topic regarding the New York Jets. The latest news on Deebo Samuel is basically that the Jets are the favorites to land him. Jeremy Fowler of ESPN saying that the Jets are the favorites. Tony Pauline last night saying that it's already done, basically, that the Jets are going to have him. I don't believe that at all. Basically, what's happening right now with Deebo Samuel, from what I understand, is that the New York Jets are extremely interested in Deebo Samuel. The San Francisco 49ers do not want to trade Deebo Samuel, but Deebo Samuel wants out of San Francisco. So it's a very interesting dynamic that we have here. And the 49ers are in a really interesting position where they don't know what to do. They don't want to trade him. They want to pay him, but Deebo wants out. So if you're the Jets, how aggressive should they be? Do you think Deebo Samuel is worth to be a player to give up the 10th overall pick and more and pay him a premier contract? Do you think he's that much of a difference maker to come in right now where this Jets organization is at?
I have a lot of interesting thoughts on Deebo Samuel. I don't view him as a tip of the top, cream of the crop, like one of the best receivers in the league. Although he's coming off of a fantastic year, can't deny it. But he has a history of injury, and he needs to get paid. Those things could work in our favor, though, and drive his trade price down a bit, especially if you're dealing with Joe Douglas, who is the fleece machine. And we're not going to be able to fleece the 49ers for a player of Deebo's caliber. But I certainly don't think the haul would be as big as a lot of people think it would be. I mean, a top 10 pick in the first round of the draft holds a lot of weight. And I saw some crazy takes from Niners fans on Twitter this morning saying, like, we need 10, 35, 38, Joe Flacco, and they take Elijah Moore and Joe Flacco, and we take Jimmy G and Deebo and like a sixth or something. This guy said, like, this is what people are like thinking out there. Like, do you know who our general manager is? Like, if it's gonna go down, it's not gonna go down like that. And the great thing about Joe Douglas is that, and the position he's put us in, really, is that anything we give up for Deebo, to a lot of people out there, they'll be like, oh, that's overpaying. But it's nothing that we can't afford with all of the assets that we've acquired over the past few years. Like, this is what you acquire those assets for. So I feel like regardless of what it is for Deebo, it definitely won't be an overpay. It definitely won't be anything like what some Niners fans are saying it's going to be like on Twitter. So I think that, I've just been waiting for the notification, man. I can't believe it hasn't happened yet, honestly.
I know. And the latest news on it, if you guys are just tuning into the stream, I see my guy Wardy NYM's in the stream. If you guys are Mets fans and you're enjoying the Mets start to the season, make sure you guys check out my guy Wardy NYM, the best Mets content creator in the business. Check out my guy Wardy NYM if you're a Mets fan. Appreciate you tuning in, Wardy. So the latest news on Deebo Samuel is the Niners don't want to trade him, but Deebo wants to be traded, and the Jets are extremely interested. That's really where they're at. The Jets are aggressive right now. They're making a lot of offers. The one thing I do know about the Jets is they're not going to overpay to the point where they're not going to afford it. Like, they're not going to give 10 and a couple seconds and another player, in my eyes. I feel like they're going to give a package. They're going to try to get it done, but I feel like another thing that really makes me feel like this could happen is the Jets missing out on Tyreek Hill is going to give Joe Douglas a little sense of urgency here. Like, okay, we missed out. We're not going to miss out again. Like, we learned from our mistake. And what Jack said was so well. Jack said this, which is beautifully said, that all the asset Jets have acquired for the past couple of seasons with the Jamal Adams trade, with the Sam Darnold trade, with even the Chris Herndon trade, with the Blake Cashman trade, all these trades throughout the years are not just to build through the draft, but it's to be able to afford to pay for a premier talent that becomes available in the trade market like right now. And the fact that the Jets have all this draft capital is a luxury, and you got to take advantage of that. And the one thing that this New York Jets team lacks is star talent. If we want to compete with this high-flying AFC offenses around the conference, you need to be able to have a player that defenses are fearing. There's not really a player on this offense that defenses fear yet. We're hopeful that Elijah Moore can become that guy. We're hopeful that Zach Wilson can develop into that guy. And, of course, Michael Carter and other players. But as of right now, Jets fans can say we can just say with a straight face without being super biased that there's not a player on this roster on offense that's just going to just blow everybody away, right? So Deebo Samuel could be that guy, and which is why I feel like the Jets could be aggressive and overpay without it really hurting this team based on all the capital that we have. So that's really the latest update on Deebo Samuel. There are still players on this Jets team that could become stars, and I feel like there is a lot of guys as well. But the good news about this whole thing, Jack, and I said this on my channel before, is it's not the end of the world if we don't get Deebo Samuel. Want to know why? No. Because plan B, it's not that bad. Plan B is drafting a stud receiver. So Speaking of that, say the Jets don't get Deebo Samuel. What do you want the Jets to do in the draft for the wide receiver position? So you said that you want them to go edge at 4. Say, hypothetically speaking, Kayvon Thibodeau or Jermaine Johnson is the pick at number 4. Do you go wide receiver at 10? If so, who? If not, how are we getting a receiver?
I would say, go wide receiver at 10. Ever since, before all the Deebo smoke started happening, I thought for a long time that we would end up going edge at 4, receiver at 10. I think a lot of people felt that same way. So I'm sticking to my guns with that. And I'm also sticking to my guns with Treylon Burks. I've loved him for so long. And when I look at him, I look like just a bigger, more jacked Deebo Samuel. I feel like he's very similar in what he can do. So I think he would be a lights out pick. Obviously, Jameson Williams would be a fantastic pick as well. He's an incredible player. I think
How do you feel about Jameson Williams?
Yeah, did I lag out for a sec?
Oh no, I was just gonna elaborate on it. Like with his injury, do you think Jameson Williams is a player that you'd want, even though he's going to be out for a couple of weeks before start the season? Do you think it's worth his talent to take a risk on that ACL injury that he is recovering good on? But some Jets fans say they don't want him because they want a player that's going to be able to play right away, because this is a big time season for Zach Wilson to evaluate if he's the guy or not. And it does make sense. Like, all right, if we draft Jameson Williams, he's going to be here for the long term, but at the same time, he's not going to be able to develop a chemistry with Zach Wilson in training camp or preseason to start off the year. So with that perspective, would you still want the Jets to draft Jameson Williams? Because you know me, Jameson Williams is my favorite wide receiver in the entire draft. If he didn't tear his ACL, I'd say draft that man at 4. That's how much I like him. And I feel like he would take this offense to a completely different level. So would you take Jameson Williams with the consideration of him being out potentially to start off the year?
I would. Yeah, I would. I think that it would also kind of be sick to just unveil him in like the middle of the season, and then it's teams just don't know what to do in terms of covering him.
I agree, man. Jameson Williams has been my favorite player on this draft for so long.
Yeah, he's an incredible talent, and I think that he would be a game-changing addition to this offense for sure. It would work perfectly alongside Elijah Moore. And I think that could be the future of the Jets receiving core right there, is Elijah Moore and Jameson Williams, and that's heat. But it could also be Elijah Moore and Treylon Burks. It could also be whoever. Like I said before, I'm not going to get my hopes up for any one player. I have faith in my general manager to go do his thing. And I'm just really excited to see who we end up getting.
Hell yeah, man. So I'm sure I didn't ask you about this, but I'll put you on the spot while we're live to the people. But are you going to be making any bets on the Jets' fourth pick? Because if you go to any of the sports books, we can put money on who the Jets going to take at number 4. And if you were to put money on it, and it's not who you want, it's more of who you think the Jets going to take, who are you putting cash on? Because right now it's plus 400 for Aiden Hutchinson. He's the favorite. It's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna stick with the same answer before, man. My gut's been telling me that it's been Kayvon Thibodeau for a while now, and I would probably put my money on KT. Even with all the tweets out there, there's no way the Jets are drafting KT. Listen, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I've just had a gut feeling this whole time that he's gonna be a New York Jet. So we'll see what happens.
Are you gonna put some money on it?
I don't know. We'll see, man. It's been a while since I bet it. I probably have to re-download the app because I got the automatic offloading apps or whatever that they have in iOS. But yeah, we'll see, man.
I know. I'm still debating.
I'll be with you. So maybe we gotta come to a decision together and rip the same thing.
I know, man. Latest news I think I'm seeing here. Likely wouldn't be announced until 49ers have a deal and the player will still be here. The 49ers beat reporters say this way. If I didn't think a Deebo trade was a live possibility, I wouldn't go to 49ers. Okay, wait. Sorry, guys. I'm just reading this tweet. Tim Kawakami, who is the athletic reporter for San Francisco, somebody asked him, "Hey, Tim, if there is a trade besides the Jets, do you see a dark horse team, blah, 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 blah?" He said, "I heard Texans last week, but now all people I talked to are pointing to the Jets as the likeliest option. We will see. Always can be a surprise team." Somebody else asked him, "Hey, Tim, do you think a Deebo trade is kind of dead at this point, or do you think there is still time for it to get done tonight or tomorrow? Thanks in advance." Tim responds saying, "Likely wouldn't be announced unless 49ers have a deal and the player they want is still there. Would be a trade on the clock. Put it this way. If I didn't think a Deebo trade was a live possibility, I would not go to the 49ers headquarters tomorrow. And I'm going to the 49ers headquarters tomorrow." So that's the latest on Deebo Samuel. I'll put that on the screen because that was a lot of words that you guys probably didn't really comprehend of me reading it like it.
That was great. I was on it.
So here's where it was. So Tim is a athletic reporter for San Francisco, and this is what he had to say. So let's keep in mind. Ryan King with the generous super chat. Ryan, I appreciate this. $20. Thank you so much, my man. It means a lot to the channel. You have no idea how much this means to the channel, man. Appreciate you big time. He says, "Deebo is a must. Don't have time for another Mims or Quincy Enunwa." Ryan wants Deebo Samuel. So, Jack, do you agree with Ryan? Do you think he is an absolute must? Should the New York Jets go all in, back to the walls, whatever you want to say? Should the New York Jets just literally bet the house that Deebo is going to be here?
I would say, Ryan, appreciate the donation, first of all, brother. I wouldn't say it's a must, personally. I would say be aggressive. Go after Deebo 100%. If the price is just too high and the 49ers aren't coming down to a reasonable offer, then you say, okay, never mind. And then you pick a stud receiver at 10, like we just talked about. So I think realistically, there's no way we can lose in this situation. We're going to grab a stud receiver, whether it's a rookie at 10 or whether it's Deebo Samuel. So I'm hyped, man. But I don't think it's a must because we got that 10th pick sitting pretty.
Yeah, very well said. Ryan King, appreciate the dono, my man. Means a lot to the channel. To go back over this tweet, Tim has to say, what he has to say here is pretty interesting because according to the first tweet that he said is that the Jets are the likeliest option and he's expecting a trade to happen the night of the draft. So, Jack, all of a sudden tomorrow night, we'll be on the clock at 10, just like the AVT situation. Think of it this way. And all of a sudden we see a trade. And all of a sudden we see a little 49ers logo pop up that the pick is in at 10. And we're like, what? And then Deebo Samuel's a Jet.
And then we'll know that Deebo's a Jet.
That is pretty crazy. So we'll
That
see
is
what happens
crazy.
there.
And we'll already have Thibodeau as a member of the Jets at that point. So, like, what an amazing night it will be.
Oh, my gosh. What an amazing night it will be indeed. Jack, I know you said you want to be on for a good 15, 20 minutes. So anything else you want to say before I let you go and enjoy your night? Because we'll be live all night tomorrow night. So we got a lot of stuff to get into.
Yeah, man, I'm super happy I could hop on for a little bit tonight. I'm even more happy that I'm going to be on for a long live stream tonight. It's going to feel like back in the season when we're watching games together and stuff like that. So super excited for that. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Thank you, of course, bro, for having me on. And the draft is here, man. Can't believe it. We're going to know what this New York Jets team is going to look like over the course of the next couple of days. So, but tomorrow especially is just going to be insane. So couldn't be any more excited. Tomorrow's going to be sick. I'm working till 8 p.m. That sucks, but it's all good. I'm going to get back hopefully 8:40. Like that dude said before, we'll be picking, so I'll be good. But thank you as always, brother. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Hell yeah, man. Everyone say your sayonara to Jack, but it's
Peace
not
out.
a see you. It's a see you later, man. See you tomorrow night.
It is. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Peace out, man. All right, so that's Jack joining the show once again. Great to see him back on this channel. So, guys, we're still here on the Deebo Samuel watch. This Tim news is pretty interesting. It's just so, like, time-consuming about what to expect with this Jets team. Because what Tim had to say is, all the people I talked to are pointing to the Jets as the likeliest option. Oh, man, this just can't come soon enough, man. It really can't. It can't come soon enough. So, guys, if you're enjoying the show and you've not hit that like button, make sure you do so for your boy. We are having a great live stream tonight. We have around 164 likes with over 200 of you guys tuning in. So make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button for your boy if you're enjoying the show. And we will be live tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. to start the draft talk, baby. That's going to be a lot of fun. So any other questions you guys may have for me, let me know, as we are going to get into it tomorrow night, baby. Oh, my God, it's going to be fun. Oh, man, it's going to be fun. Ryan with another $10 super chat. Thank you so much. My brother, Ryan, very generous. Appreciate you. Deebo is not playing in San Francisco. They're going to lose out. San Francisco will trade at the last minute. I will be at my business on it. I guess you mean I will bet my business on it. So Ryan is all in on Deebo Samuel. He thinks that it's going to happen. So if Deebo Samuel is going to be a Jet, I think it's going to happen the night of the draft, which is tomorrow. Do you guys agree with Ryan here? Or not? Because I don't know. I just don't know what to believe anymore. Because the one thing I do know about this whole situation is that the New York Jets are going to be aggressive. NFL update that just came out. Nothing to do with the Jets. Darren Waller's not going anywhere. He's staying put in Las Vegas after those rumors emerged about him potentially going to Green Bay. Some NFL news there. The Jets have a really big opportunity here to make a big-time splash in the trade market and a big-time move at the NFL draft tomorrow night, man. Want to see Deebo watch Friday? I don't know if that will happen, but we'll see. I'm lagging big time. My apologies for the lag. Hopefully that gets sorted out. What happened tonight because of physical for Deebo, right? It could happen tomorrow. Could be on draft night as well. The Niners would have traded him already if they had any intention to trade him. It's not true. They could be waiting to see who's available at number 10 instead of doing the trade now. because you never know. Their guy that they love could be gone. Hutchinson could fall to us. There is some rumors that it's possible, for whatever reason, he isn't a favorite in terms of this on the sports book to land with the Jets. I don't know. I'm not really getting my hopes up about that. We'll see. For all we know, a trade package could be agreed upon, and they're working on a contract right now. Like that's how much depth there is to these negotiations with big-time trades. Because the one thing about this trade that you guys need to realize as well is if a trade is agreed upon, the Jets are not going to go through the trade unless Deebo Samuel and his camp agrees on a contract with the Jets, right? The Jets are not going to trade for him if Deebo does not sign an extension with the Jets. It's going to be one of those things like Tyreek Hill where they trade for him and he signs an extension and he's here long term. So we'll see what actually happens. Oh, man, this is going to be a crazy 24-hour period because 24 hours from now, I think the Jets will be on the clock at number 10 probably, or maybe a little past. I think we'll have our pick at 10 in already. I don't know. An hour and 40 minutes in. I don't know. Oh, my God. This is a good package. 10 and Greg Van Roten for Deebo. I'm down. I'm just not a big fan of giving up so much draft capital for Deebo. He's dangerous because of Kyle Shanahan. Now, this is a valid argument that people have about Deebo is he's more of a product of the scheme. He's more of a product of Kyle Shanahan being a dog than anything else. I don't know. We run the same scheme here, and I feel like he'd be a dog for us as well. Kosher Kush. I love that name. Let's get to 200 likes. 177 likes with over 211 people tuning in. Guys, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Let's get to 200 likes. That would be great for the channel. Let's do it. LOL, GVR still on the team? He is. Mr. D with the $5 super chat says, it doesn't matter if we get Deebo or not. The Jets are going to be an awesome team this season regardless. Go Jets. Now, this is the energy we need, baby. Mr. D, I appreciate your generous $5 super chat as always. And I agree as well. Even if we don't get Deebo Samuel, it's not the end of the world. Even though that I'm sitting here preaching for Deebo Samuel and I really want him very badly, I've said it over and over again. If we do not land him, I'm not going to be that upset because we have a great opportunity to really fill out this roster in this draft. So that's all I got to say. We have a lot of capital. Chavez 100 with the $2 super chat says, when do you think Samuel will be dealt? According to that San Francisco athletic reporter, he's expecting to happen tomorrow during the draft. So that's when I would expect it if something does happen. Love the cat, man. Thank you, Dennis. I appreciate it. Gotta represent the old school look. Man, oh man, is it going to be a fun time tomorrow night here on the channel and for Jets fans across the world and for NFL fans because the NFL draft is a time where everybody gets to enjoy to see the future of all respected franchises making their picks, and it's going to be a ton of fun here on Jets Media. So guys, if you're not prepared, get yourself prepared because tomorrow night's going to be hectic. There's going to be 2 players, potentially 3, if there's a trade. I'm moving back into the first round. That's going to be on the New York Jets. And we're going to be celebrating or crying, one of the two. Mr. D with another $2 super chat. Feels like it's Christmas Eve. Happy draft day. Oh my God, it does feel like that. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight now that you bring that up. Appreciate the $2 super chat, though. I changed my mind for the second time in 5 minutes. Keep the picks. Don't get Deebo. Just get a lot of young bodies. That's the funny thing about this. Everyone's like all over the place. I want Deebo. Wait. I don't want to give up the capital for him, though. So no Deebo. Oh, wait. I feel you, man. Get your popcorn ready. Indeed. I'm so hyped to see what you all do tomorrow. Good luck. I'm excited to see what you do with that 10th pick, 49er Media. See what I did there? I'm excited to see what you guys do with your first round pick that's going to be at number 10. Another Niner fan comes in and says, as a Niner fan, I hope he doesn't leave, but if y'all want him, we want 10 this year, 38 this year, and your first next year. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. But, I don't know. I wouldn't do that. I'd rather just stay put if that's what it's going to be about. But I respect you trying to get as much for your player as possible, man. There's nothing wrong with that. Jake says, say running game is 50% of offensive snaps. MC takes have those touches. Do you trust Coleman and late round rookie for 25% of offense? I'd rather give those touches to a top prospect like B. Hall. I don't know. I love Michael Carter to the point where I have confidence in him. I know that you're saying he gets 50%, but I feel like we can find a gem later on. I don't really feel like we need to use a premier pick on a running back personally, but you never know. One Walker, 2 Hutch, 3 Sauce, 4, I don't know. 4 will be a Kwanu in this situation, in my opinion. Not saying that's who I would take. That's what I'm predicting the Jets to take. I can't decide. I'm definitely more in on getting Deebo, but one thing to note is that he is leaving because he hates his running back role. I mean, it is still worth to give up 10. Great take. Matthew would give up 10-38, 2023 first for Deebo, Warner, and Kyle Shannon. Facts. If they draft Beckton's replacement tomorrow, it's going to be crazy. Yeah, it is going to be crazy if that is the case. I don't know, man. I don't see it happening, but you never know what can happen, bro. I just can't wait to finally see what happens so we can finally put all this stuff to bed. Right? Am I right, everybody, or what? Am I right, everybody, or what? Can we get to 200 likes before the stream is all wrapped up? 9 more to go. Smash that like button for your boy. Really appreciate you guys. Because we got a lot of fun things on the channel coming up. I'm tired of mocks too, bro. We're going to do a final mock on the channel tomorrow, and they'll be the last one. Alrighty, guys. So we're gonna see if there's any other news on Twitter, potentially, but there's not really anything. Besides what that Tim guy said. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna wrap up the stream here, guys. We were live for just under 2 hours as I'm starting to lag a little bit. I'm sorry if I'm lagging right now, but I think it's time to wrap up the stream. We got over 200 likes, which is awesome. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate everybody helping out the channel, showing all your support. I love it. I like JJ over KT. What do you think? I definitely expect this to be a possibility, man. Don't be shocked if this is what happens. That's all I'm after this. That's all I'm saying. Don't be shocked if the Jets take JJ if KT's still there. I'm not saying it's the right or wrong move, but it's very possible. Save your strength for tomorrow night. I got to save my strength for the entire weekend, man. And I will do that. Chavez with the $5 super chat before we get things wrapped up. Let's say we don't get Samuel. Between London, Williams, and Wilson, who would you want? Williams is my guy. Always has been, always will be. I want Jameson Williams on the Jets. For me, it would go Williams, Wilson, then London. But I would honestly put Burks ahead of some players on this list as well. But yeah, Chavez, I appreciate the $5 super chat, man. It means a lot. Appreciate all you guys showing some support. Thanks, Richie. Thanks, Snowball. Appreciate you. Kosher Kush, I appreciate you as well. Will this year be Denzel Mims' breakout year? I hope, but I'm not expecting that. That's for sure. Thank you. Good luck tomorrow, everybody. Hell yeah, man. Let's everyone get a good night rest. Tomorrow's going to be wild. Get the popcorn ready. Get the shots of tequila ready as well in case we all need to take a little breath or whatever you do. Smoke, you smoke. Whether you meditate, you take alcohol, whatever it is, get it ready because tomorrow's going to be either stressful or exciting, and it's going to be lots of fun. So, guys, I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all the support. I'll be live tomorrow at 6:30 to get the draft party started. 6:30. See you guys tomorrow. Let's go, Jets. The Jets are about to kill it tomorrow. And Deebo Samuel will be a Jet by tomorrow. Ha ha ha. Yes, he will. That's a prediction. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but he will be a New York Jet. Deebo Samuel will be a Jet by tomorrow. You heard it here.